Most people have no idea how much they actually pay in taxes. They see their tax bracket, say 22%, and assume that means 22 cents of every dollar they earn goes straight to the IRS. That's not how it works. And once you understand how it actually works, a lot of things start to make a lot more sense. Raises, investments, retirement accounts, financial planning in general. I'm Erin from LLC Deals. In this video, we're breaking down exactly how tax brackets work from the ground up, using real 2026 numbers straight from the IRS. Let's get into it. Now, most people hear tax bracket and immediately think it means whatever percentage bracket they're in applies to everything they earned. That is the single most common misconception in personal finance. And it costs people real money in bad decisions, turning down raises, avoiding promotions, under contributing to investments, all because they misunderstood how this system actually works. So let's fix that. The United States uses what's called a progressive tax system. Progressive simply means the more you earn, the higher the rate on the upper portion of your income. Not on all of your income, only on the portion that sits in the higher bucket. Think of it like a series of buckets lined up in a row. Your income starts filling the first bucket. Once that bucket is full, it spills into the second one, then the third, the fourth, and so on. Each bucket has a different tax rate, but the water already in the lower buckets doesn't get repriced when a new bucket starts filling. There are 7 of these buckets in the US federal system. Rates go from 10% at the bottom up to 37% at the top. Most people working regular jobs will sit somewhere in the middle. The top bracket, 37%, applies only to income above $640,600 for single filers as of 2026. The vast majority of Americans never see that rate applied to a single dollar of their income. Here are the actual 2026 tax brackets straight from the IRS. And just so you know, these numbers go up a little bit every year because of inflation, so the exact dollar amount will change over time, but the way the system works stays exactly the same. So let's go through them one by one for single filers. The very first dollars you earn, up to $12,400, get taxed at just 10%. That's it, 10 cents on every dollar. Once you pass that, the next chunk from $12,400 up to $50,400 get taxed at 12%. After that, from $50,400 up to $105,700, you're at 22%. The next chunk from $105,700 up to $201,775, that's 24%. Keep going and you hit 32%, then 35%, and at the very top rate, 37%, only applies once your income goes above $640,600. Now, if you're married and filing jointly, the numbers are bigger. Your 10% bucket runs all the way to $24,800, and you don't even hit the 22% bracket until your income crosses $100,800. So married couples generally keep more money in the lower buckets. One last thing, if you're watching this in a future year, just search current tax brackets IRS and you'll find the updated numbers. The system works the same way, only the dollar amounts shift. Here is the mistake that a lot of people make. They find out they're in the 22% tax bracket, and they think that means 22% of everything they made is going to the IRS. And I totally understand why people think that, but this is actually incorrect. Let me show you how this works with a real example. Your taxable income is $75,000. Your money gets split up into those buckets we talked about. Bucket gets taxed at its own rate. The first $12,400 taxed at 10%, that's $1,240. The next chunk from $12,400 up to $50,400 taxed at 12%, that comes out to $4,560. And the last piece from $50,400 up to $75,000, that's in the 22% bucket. That's $5,412. Now let's add all of that up. $1,240 plus $4,560 plus $5,412. That gives you $11,212 in total federal taxes. Here's where it gets interesting. You take that $11,212 and you divide it by your $75,000 income. You get 14.9%, your bracket is 22%, but your actual tax rate, what you really paid, is only about 15%. I hope that's a revelation to you if you didn't already know that, because those are two very different numbers. And once you understand that, a lot of things start to make a lot more sense. So there are 2 terms I want you to know, and once you understand them, taxes start to make a lot more sense. The first one is your marginal tax rate. All that means is the rate on your next dollar of income. So an our example, you made $75,000. If you make one more dollar on top of that, that dollar gets taxed at 22%. That is your marginal rate. The second one is your effective tax rate. And this one is really important. Your effective tax rate is the actual percentage of your total income that went to taxes. So in our example, that was 14.9%. That's what you actually paid. Now here's why these two numbers are so different. Remember the buckets. Your first dollars get taxed at 10%, then 12%. You didn't even hit 22% until you got to the higher chunk of your income. So when you average it all out across everything you made, the number comes out way lower than 22%. So your marginal rate tells you what your next dollar will cost you in taxes. Your effective rate tells you what you actually paid overall. Let me put the raise myth completely to rest because this one genuinely costs people money in real life. Say you're earning exactly $50,400 right at the border of the 12% and 22% brackets. Your employer offers you a $1,000 raise. Some people hesitate thinking moving into the 22% bracket means they'll lose money. Here is the actual math. Before the raise, your income below $50,400 is taxed the same as always. Nothing changes for that money. After the raise, the extra $1,000 that pushed you into the 22% bucket gets taxed at 22%. That's $220 in additional taxes on that $1,000. You paid $220 more in taxes, but you earned $1,000 more in income. You take home an extra $780. You always keep more money when you earn more, always. Before your income even touches the tax brackets, you get to subtract something called the standard deduction. Think of it like a discount on your taxable income before any of this even starts. For 2026, the standard deduction is $16,100 if you're single and $32,200 if you're married filing jointly. And these numbers go up a little every year with inflation. Now, going back to our example, you made $75,000, but your taxable income isn't actually $75,000. It's $75,000 minus $16,100. So you're only being taxed on $58,900. That is a big difference. And it gets even better if you're contributing to a 401k or IRA. Those are retirement savings accounts that the government lets you contribute to before taxes. Every dollar you put into those accounts also comes off your taxable income. So if you're in the 22% bracket and you put $1,000 into your 401k, you just saved $220 in taxes right now, today. And that money keeps growing tax deferred on top of that. So this is why people who understand how taxes work end up paying less. It's not anything complicated. It's just knowing how to use the system the way it was set up to be used. So now let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. This part tends to surprise people regardless of their political views, so I'm just going to share the data. According to the most recent IRS statistics, the bottom 50% of earners in America, literally half the country by income, pays about 3.3% of all federal income taxes collected. The top 50% pays the remaining 96.7%, and the top 1% of earners alone covers approximately 38.4% of the entire federal income tax bill by themselves. I'm not making a political statement here. These are IRS figures. The point is that the progressive system is genuinely progressive. Now, here's something that matters a lot once you start building wealth, and most people never learn this until they've already invested. The 7 tax brackets we've covered apply to your earned income, your salary, your business, your income, your freelance work, but investment income is taxed under an entire different set of rules. If you buy a stock or an investment and sell it after holding it for more than 1 year, the profit is called a long-term capital gain. And long-term capital gains have their own tax rates set separately from the regular buckets. For 2026, the IRS has 3 long-term capital gain rates: 0%, 15%, and 20%. For single filers, you pay 0 in capital gains taxes if your taxable income is under $49,450. That means in a lower income year, investment gains below that threshold cost you nothing in federal tax. From $49,451 up to $545,500, the rate is 15%. Only above $545,500 does the 20% rate apply. Compare that to earned income. If you're in the 22% bracket on your salary, the profit from an investment you held for a year might get taxed at just 15% or potentially 0. The government deliberately set investment tax rates lower to incentivize people to put money into businesses and assets and hold them long term. Now that the framework makes sense, here's what to actually do with it. First, stop worrying about raises and promotions pushing you into a higher tax bracket. You've seen the math. A raise always means more money in your pocket every time. Second, contribute to your 401k or IRA if you can. In 2026, you can put up to $24,500 into a 401k and $7,500 into an IRA. Every dollar you contribute reduces your taxable income right now at your marginal rate. You pay taxes at your effective rate in retirement, which is almost always significantly lower. Third, if you're investing, pay attention to your holding period. The difference between short-term capital gains taxed at your regular bracket rate and long-term gains taxed at 15% or less is substantial over time. 1 year of holding can mean a meaningfully different tax outcome, especially as your portfolio grows. That's the full breakdown. These numbers adjust every year for inflation, but the framework stays the same. Understanding how it works is what lets you make smarter financial decisions regardless of what the specific thresholds are in any given year. Quick disclaimer, I am not a CPA, tax attorney, or financial advisor. This video is for general education only, not personal tax advice. Tax rules can change and your situation may be different depending on your income, filing status, state, deductions, investments, and business setup. So before you make a tax decision, double check to the current IRS numbers or talk to a qualified tax professional. Drop any questions in the comments. I read everything. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this every week. I'm Erin from LLC Deals. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.